It is claimed that the Greek philosopher Socrates said, "To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom," while a fellow Greek, Thales, considered that the most difficult thing in life is actually to know yourself. More recently, knowing yourself has become sort of a key theme of good business leadership. But how well do we know ourselves? And how is our personality likely to affect our career choices, our performance and likelihood of success within any given career? For example, have I got what it takes to be a great scientist, an inventor or entrepreneur? And are any of my natural attributes, those characteristics that I rely on day in and day out in living life, are any of them more likely to fit one role rather than another? This is a question I have asked myself throughout my career, as I have sought to find that place where I best fit. Numerous others ask themselves the same sort of question on a regular basis, and others perhaps do not ask it as often as they might. But knowing oneself and why we're motivated to react in a particular way or to do things that we do, to what might be best or not best suited to what we want to do, provides important information that can aid us all in making life choices. These days, especially with growing concerns about mental health, the availability of assessments are increasing. Many, of course, such as the use of psychometrics, have been around in various guises for nearly 100 years. Psychometrics can be defined as the science of psychological assessment. It is the measurement of psychological factors influencing human behavior, most commonly thought of, sadly, as tests that are used to assess general intelligence, ability achievement, performance, and personality. Such psychometric tests are becoming increasingly used by business to help assess the suitability of candidates as employees for particular roles. But they can help each of us make the same sorts of assessment, and in particular help us appreciate why we fit some situations more readily than others. Why is this important for scientific innovation? Quite simply, because scientific innovation needs different types of individuals with different attributes in order to fulfill the roles of scientists, scientist inventors, and innovators, whether an intrapreneur based within a company or an entrepreneur establishing their own company. And increasingly, we're beginning to appreciate that there are differences, and we need to define and understand these in order to help identify, then guide, support, and mentor, and encourage each different type of individual. Innovation cannot depend only upon researchers. We need to educate and support those amongst us who are the inventors, the intrapreneurs and entrepreneurs, as well as just scientists. Yes, certainly some researchers will have attributes that allow them to adapt in all these roles, but for the most part, individuals are better suited and likely to excel in just one or two of the different roles in the process of bringing products and services and processes to market. The question then arises, well, how do we identify such individuals and ensure they receive the education and support they require to excel at what suits them best? This is where the use of psychometric measures of personality traits comes into its own. Intriguingly, although not a regular part of most educational systems, it provides a means for students to understand their own drivers and behaviours beyond those associated with conventional intelligence testing that predominates within school. Understanding who we are and why we behave the way we do based on personality traits can be particularly important for those individuals who find it difficult to fit within a system. Given that such individuals have a tendency to be creative and entrepreneurial, gives added weight to the need to empower with self-knowledge. Scientific innovation has too long been considered the jurisdiction of researchers, just them alone, as opposed to looking at innovation needs that go beyond this group. And psychometrics provide one means by which to identify and thereby educate, support and resource those who can turn research into invention and invention into products, services and processes. On this basis, it would seem prudent for any innovative nation to adopt psychometrics for this purpose. Would it not?